success against Magnus Carlsen has come with the white pieces, and he needs to strike back from that first game today. So we do see a King's Pawn opening, and Magnus Carlsen not repeating his strategy from yesterday. No King's Pawn reply from black. We see the Sicilian defense, one of the most counter-attacking openings in chess. This is the opening that Magnus Carlsen was relying on in his last World Championship match against Caruana, but this last move, pushing a pawn in the center, this has become trendy only recently. This pawn push, until a few years ago, at least I had never seen it at the top level. So Magnus Carlsen trying to gain space in the center with black, white castling the king, black bringing his bishop out. Ivanka, you're going to have some stats for me, I'm sure, but this one I know is very topical. There has been some recent books, articles. I have seen a lot of material on this lately. White's bishop was attacked, he just drops it back. Now Magnus needs to quickly get the black king to safety as soon as he can.
Yeah, no, incidentally, I had this 3 moves in on my iPad on Chessable this morning when I was looking at the Wesley swap, but I didn't get to this particular variation, so I got a bit excited there. But yeah, very much still in the realms of theory for the players, and well, I predict Magnus will pick up the light square, the bishop 1 square. Okay, he picks up the knight. Now let's see if that's in the realm of novelty, and yep, hasn't been played before. But one thing that did notice in Wesley So's his repertoire against e4, which is the king's pawn push, was that he was really, really fixated when it came to this particular structure of getting through his pawn break.
So White breaking in the center with a pawn, trying to open up lines, trying to explode open that middle of the board. And that's because he's ahead in development. It's very logical. If your pieces are better, and if you have castled your king and your opponent hasn't, then you need to speed up the game, try and open up the middle. And suddenly we do see Magnus Carlsen thinking, because he doesn't necessarily want to allow a trade of pawns in the center while the black king also resides there. So Magnus just having a think now. He does have a couple of threats facing him, and he also has to find time, the right moment to castle the black king. Lots of questions for him to deal with. We did see, as Ivanka mentioned, a new move on Magnus's last turn. But if you're going to introduce a new move, you have to be prepared for your opponent's most obvious reply, their most tempting reply. Magnus desperately trying to cause chaos and confusion on that left side of the board, just trying to distract Wesley so from trapping the Black Knight. The Black Knight, it does look like it should be doomed.
Yeah. But one thing you have to notice about White's pawn structure and Black's pawn structure on the left side of the board is that White should not be tempted to make moves like pawn takes pawn. Don't be doing anything like that. Keep those double pawns intact, and the way you do that is basically by supporting the pawn that is under fire with your bishop. Make sure that Black has those double pawns. There you see it. Wesley is putting that idea into action, and that's a very, very important concept.
Yeah, very important there. You need, if you look on the C line, there's a lot of stuff on the C line, a lot of pieces there, but Black has these two pawns getting in each other's way, so those two pawns aren't necessarily better than one pawn. That's why you need to leave them as they are. So Black's bishop trying to undermine that Black's rook, trying to undermine the White bishop. The White bishop simply stepping back. Look at White's bishop. It's eyeing up the Black Knight now. The Black Knight is defended, but it's going to become a huge target. Magnus continuing his act of defiance here on that left side of the board. He's just continuing to try and distract Wesley from the real action on the other flank. But it has come at the cost of a pawn. Magnus gave up a pawn. He had a pawn advantage with Black on that left flank, but now it's back to 2-2 in terms of number of pawns. Black's bishop created a threat, but getting kicked back. And yeah, Wesley just increasing the advantage step by step, slowly. He's not rushing. This is very instructive by Wesley, so he's not rushing to win Black's knight on the side of the board. He knows that knight's not going anywhere. He's just improving, just dealing with the left side. Now he'll maybe consolidate again, improve his bishop. Wesley's light square bishop, that looks a bit blocked in by its own pawn, so improve that piece maybe, yeah, slowly but surely.
But Magnus doesn't look too stressed out, too annoyed. Is it poker face? Is it not giving away that he hates this? Or is he hoping maybe to put Wesley in some trouble? Does he have any sort of hope here?
Well, the thing is, well, the thing is here in this kind of position, Magnus knows that Wesley has the upper hand. He knows that ultimately the best result is basically he's going to lose. So what can you do? What is the use of getting angry or frustrated with yourself? Much better just to kind of smile, see this position as a challenge, and just ask yourself, can I survive this? How can I make my opponent's life difficult? And when you have that positive mindset, it becomes much easier, first of all, to accept that you're going to lose, and secondly, accept that there are chances in the position. And, we have some moves on the board, and Magnus is desperately trying. We can just see him. He's trying to swap off rooks. He's trying to trying to put his pieces on active squares. Unfortunately, his material deficit is too much. But, that's the best kind of thing you have to do. You don't give up.
Stranger things have happened, yeah. So we did see that trade of rooks. Black's knight now finally not trapped. That's why Magnus allowed the trade of rooks, in order to get the Black Knight back into action. And he has won back one of White's pawns. I would expect to see here Wesley does retreat with his bishop, attacking Black's knight, destabilize. Magnus just resigns. He doesn't even try to defend. Material down in this position.
Wow, drama in the final of the FTX Crypto Cup. Magnus Carlsen winning the first game. Wesley so